Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wandering Artist podcast. I am Casey,
And I'm Steffi.
and this is our very first episode. Oh my
Yeah,
god, isn't that crazy?
it's we did something before to test it out and we were having some struggles with it. So this is our first episode. That's an episode.
It's literally our first day.
It's our first day doing this. I'm just a baby. Oh my god.
Anyway, welcome to our show. Um, we thought it would be a really fun idea to do a podcast focused specifically on going week by week through The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. If you're not familiar, it's a book that's been out for over 30 years.
Damn.
And a lot of people rave about it. So I think that this is a really cool opportunity for us and for people listening to follow along with us and maybe feel inspired. And
Yeah, we're two people who are traveling around trying to find the best versions of ourselves. I think the point of this book and this course, which the book may as well be, um, is within 12 weeks to recover that artistic, creative version of yourself that you might have hidden away at one point.
mhm.
Yeah.
Unleashing creative potential,
Mm-hmm.
overcoming blocks, all of
Mm-hmm.
that good stuff. And each week has different assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the assignments run throughout the entire course, like the morning pages, but we will get into all of that. Um, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, week one was, I don't know, it wasn't a super long chapter. We're using the audiobook version of it because as we're traveling, we don't really have room for books. So we've been listening to that, or we did finish listening to that. We've actually finished week one and are going into week two currently. And week one's assignments were the morning pages, having an artist date, as well as I don't know, there was 10 separate optional assignments that you can pick from.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and what I like that she says in the book is like you don't have to do all of the assignments. Pick the ones that you're most interested in and the ones that you are least interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really like you have to put in work, you have to be willing to do the work and uncover some things, and it's not always comfortable. Um, but yeah, I'm glad that we can talk about it more because I feel like that really helps to digest everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, morning pages is basically 3 pages of long form writing, stream of consciousness. You try to like not stop for a long period. Don't think about what you're writing, just write it all out until you have 3 pages. 3 pages is the minimum. You can do more if you want. And you do that basically first thing in the morning before you start your day.
Whether or not we've been doing that is its own question.
I feel
But
like, I mean, not immediately right after we wake up, but as we're having breakfast, we do it. I mean, I think like doing the morning pages was something that has stopped me from continuing this course many times because um, I never felt like I was doing it right. Like I had a hard time with consistency. Um, and then I also had a hard time with like, there's been some days where it's like I just can't get 3 pages out and I end up writing like I don't know what to write. And I'll
yeah.
write that for like an entire page.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes it's annoying,
Yeah.
but I feel like there is some freedom in there to make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
One of the days this past week, I was just not having it and didn't really want to do it. So I did an interpretive scribble for a long part of it because I wanted to, in a creative way, demonstrate how I've been feeling um, during our travels because we've been traveling for several months now, and there's been a lot of different little phases within that, and um, it was just a fun way for me. I feel like it wasn't quite like a cheating way, but it was just a nice way to do it a little bit differently and still feel that sense of accomplishment that I
Mm-hmm.
still got the 3 pages done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for me the 3 pages is difficult, but that's because um I won't shut up. I can just keep talking for a very long time about nothing and everything. And sometimes it is, I don't really want to write right now. Today was the first day actually that I wrote down, I really don't feel like doing this today. And I still wrote about just like my to do list and, stream of
Hmm.
conscience. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, I like doing the morning pages, and I feel like it's a nice thing to incorporate into our routine.
Yeah.
And we don't have really excuses not to do it.
That is so true. Because of our traveling situation, we really don't have an excuse not to. And for those who are doing it in other phases of their life, I feel like even if it's not, like, ideally it's in the morning, but if you're writing it at all throughout the day, I feel like that's the most important thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Normalize doing the pages. Doesn't matter when, as long as you get them done.
Maybe it's a brain dump, not a morning page.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Mhm.
feel like like they serve the same purpose,
Yeah.
you
It's just
know?
to get all the stuff in your brain out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Clear it.
yeah, not having that like internal thing going on in your head that like runs your day. If you get it
Mhm.
all out in the morning, then you open yourself up to being able to more easily tap into that creative side if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I have everything written here, but I feel like having it here is like making me more nervous. Do you feel that way?
Mm, not really. I like having the structure to know what we're talking about next in case
That's fair.
I feel like I'm getting lost.
That's
Because
fair.
we could also have conversations for a really long time if we
That's
wanted
true.
to.
As we learned when we did it last. Do you mind if we just use yours then and put mine away?
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Toss
my
it away.
journal. She's cute, right? I don't remember where I got her.
So the morning pages is one of the main things. You do it throughout the entire course. But each week has different assignments. And I think we did like, we didn't do all of the assignments, but we did a lot of the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most interesting ones I thought that we both did was um, the imaginary lives, where
Mm-hmm.
you essentially write out 5 different versions of yourself. If you aren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing? And the step past that was, of those things you've written, pick one of those things and basically pretend to be that person. So,
Yeah, it's like go do the activity
yeah, exactly.
associated with it.
So, what I really enjoyed that we did was
Do you want to say what your five were?
I can say what my 5 were. One of them I wrote about being a painter, dedicating my time to painting, having a big studio with lots of windows and light, and making big abstract paintings.
And this is a bitch who doesn't have a mind's eye. Just saying.
I can feel it. I know
You
what it
feel
would be
it.
like to
You
have that
know.
studio space. So that's one of them. Another one was being more of like a digital designer. I don't know specifically for what, but um, I did a lot of digital design stuff when I was in high school, and I really enjoyed it. And I had opportunities to work with like creative companies, and I thought it would be cool to be someone who's like in that creative world, and maybe you're like designing some sort of content for this creative company. I didn't fully flesh that one out, but like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
It could be like branding. It could have been like UX design. It could have been website design. It could have been a bajillion things.
yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one was being a travel photographer, um, like just getting paid to travel and take interesting photos and write about things. I've always thought that's just amazing. Um, Another one is to be a dancer. Since we've been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, sometimes I think about the male dancers that they
The
have
pit
and
crew.
the pit crew, excuse me, that they have for different numbers, just being in the background and like realizing that so many performers like to have dancers as part of their videos, as part of their like live performances, and like
Hmm.
being in that community, I think would be so amazing. And I definitely still want to explore dancing, but I feel like making that my life, like that ship has sailed. Like I would have to have done dancing since I was in high school, to be there now. So
I feel like that's an idea that you can challenge though, because like although yes, like prima ballerinas have been doing it since they were 3. I don't recommend that. Um, please be older than that when you start ballet and start taking it seriously. You can dance around a little, but there's a lot of medical things that can go wrong if you really start that young.
period.
Um, just because people expect you to be starting young for that doesn't mean that you can't be older. There's so many. I know more about ballet world because that's one of the things on my list. But um, there's some people who have been older when they start, and like you have a very very fit body. Like you're fine. You would be so successful because you're non-binary. Like I think there's so much room for that, and you're like trans mask as well. So it's easier for masculine people to be in the dance world.
Hmm.
Like don't limit yourself. We can reframe that.
Yeah, I know. We're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I just want to make all of the lives happen. Like I just want to do a bit of everything. So,
Did you do all 5? I feel like there's one that's missing.
oh no, 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 I didn't get to the fifth one yet.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I'm just saying for my life, like
Yeah.
I do want to have phases where I do all of these things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the other one is I don't know if I'd quite consider this to be creative. All of the other ones are very creative, but I wrote down being a small business owner, because I've thought about multiple times how cool it would be to have a third space for people that's, you know, it's like a coffee shop during the day, but it's also a really chill lounge space for people to go and study, but it's also open later in the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where I went to college, I feel like that's something that was really missing, was having like a really cool third space for people to go if you don't want to be around your roommates or, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it would also be a big enough space where it could be like a small venue for different performances,
Mm-hmm.
different events.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically, just a space to bring community together.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have a loft and chill little areas, beanbag chairs, a little library area, maybe a fireplace,
That good.
lots of plants. Yeah. Anyway, and that's another thing where I'm like, maybe when I'm older, it's something that I could also do. But
Mm-hmm.
those were my 5 lives.
Your 5 lives are way more fleshed out than mine. When we were looking at this assignment list, I saw that as an assignment, like 5 lives, and I went, "Oh, I can do that so easily." Like that's the thing I'm the most attracted to in writing about. I get to my page, I write down number 1, underwater photographer slash scuba diver slash conservationist. And then I went to number 2 and I went, oh, wait, I can't think of anything. So I wrote down like barista, who's also an artist, which I've like been before, but like, take it to the next level. I've only worked with tea, not coffee. And like, I wasn't a painter, so maybe that was a painter. But I didn't go into like this complex world of what that would be other than this first one. And then I wrote down like dancer, as in like a ballet dancer, which as a femme non-binary person is extremely unlikely for me, and someone who has EDS and all the other fun stuff to make it challenging to move my body in that way for long periods of time. And then I can't remember what I wrote for 4. I think number 4 I wrote National Geographic photographer, which I
Mhm.
still have time for because most of them are over the age of 40. So we got time.
Yeah.
And then number five, I think I wrote like Australia, like living in Australia, having studied there. Yeah, I was going to study abroad in Australia at one point and then didn't end up doing it for whatever reason. And I guess this was like, if I had done that, I would be like some Australian surfer babe who's like living it up. But there wasn't really a job assignment with that. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say the same ones now after like the week that we've had.
Mm.
But those were challenging. But I liked the tasks that we did.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it was fun because after that we looked at it and I remembered that there was a documentary that goes behind the scenes of I think it's Our Planet,
Hmm.
and it's like a behind the scenes, so it's just following like the camera crew
The
around.
documentary crew, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that that was eye-opening. I really liked it. They put themselves into some really rough situations to get these
Mhm.
shots, and like
Mhm. They're very dedicated.
they're very dedicated, but I also like I'm very excited by that. Like
Mhm.
I would love to be put in a box for a week waiting for a Siberian tiger to pop up. Like
Yeah.
I love being in nature. I love backpacking. I'm not sure about the swamp part. That was hard to watch.
Like
Like
the Indonesian
carrying like a
swamps.
huge camera and
These
like you're
cameras are as
waist
big as
deep
me. Like these cameras are huge.
waist deep in swamp water in the middle of a
A
forest.
rainforest, like a jungle, a full like jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
that didn't seem fun.
Mm-mm.
There
Probably
was
really cool though.
yeah, and there was also the helicopter scene where they're getting shots of like the
The glacier
glaciers,
collapsing,
like scary but
which like
also
rip, but
so cool.
yeah,
Like, yeah, um,
that would be a cool job.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that was fun.
What was
Um,
so we did that as one of the tasks. We started learning a dance as one of the tasks. I know that I personally had like a listen to Billie Eilish contemporary dance moment. Um just like headphones on, blasting music in my ears, having like a few mirrors up and just had a great time with that. Um what else did we do? Was that it?
I feel like those were the only things that we did within the Imaginary Lives
Yeah, that's fair.
category.
Mhm.
But there were other assignments that we did as well.
Mhm.
One of them, I feel like these go hand in hand, but so they're two separate assignments. But
Mhm.
talking about your creative monsters and also your creative champions.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you want to talk about that first.
I mean, I can, sure. I think we both struggled with the creative monsters. I can't think of like specific times someone's looked at my art and been like, "You suck." Like that's not good. I think we both deeply relate to growing up with the rise of social media and how that deeply affected our confidence in our art.
Yeah,
Because if ever we wanted to produce and post something or share it with the world, if it didn't blow up, or even if, it didn't, for me at least, but like if we even posted it or even considered posting it, the feeling of, well, someone else has done it, or like it's not good enough, or, you know, I usually did post it and then nothing really came of it. It was just upsetting. Like the society and the internet
mm-hmm.
seemed to have a preconceived notion of what an artist should look like and do and be, and that hit me really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely like when I looked at that assignment, I felt so averse to it, and I honestly procrastinated for a long time because I also didn't have an immediate like, ah, yes, this one person in my past really made me feel awful about my creativity. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized like when I was in middle school and Instagram was this newer thing, I really did enjoy taking photos and editing them. And I thought about potentially being a photographer, but being exposed so early on to what everybody else in the world is doing and seeing well established photographers and creatives putting their work out there, it really prevented me from feeling like I would ever have my own unique take on things.
Mhm.
Like all these other bitches have already done it. So
Mhm.
what's the point of me trying to put my stuff out there?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, honestly, if I could pinpoint one thing, I'd say the internet has been it. And it's also been, in a way, its own block that's prevented me from continuing more creativity because I ideally wouldn't have to put my art onto social media to be
Mhm.
recognized.
But nowadays, if you don't put your art on social media, it's almost like it doesn't exist. Like, I know it can, but the artists that we see the most often are the ones that are blowing up on TikTok or Instagram. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've had to get over that hump of like, in order to put my stuff out there, I do have to allow myself to be seen on the internet.
Like we're doing now. Crazy.
And here we are,
Here we are using the internet to our advantage instead of letting it stay a monster.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, beyond that, I mean,
I mean, both of us beyond that had the lack of any like true support. Like my mother was very supportive and was like, "Oh my gosh, your art's so beautiful and wonderful," and also was like, "Are you going to be a doctor?
yeah.
When are you going to school?"
Yeah, I feel like I also, my parents were supportive of me having creativity, but it was never something that could be anything more than a side hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, it was never seen as practical or valued in the way that it could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But
but
that leads really well into like the people who were supportive, and I know that you had a really good support system when you were being creative. Well, I don't really. I have a lot more monsters than I do like creative people who helped me. I just have people who pushed me, but I didn't like it.
hmm.
But like you had like your teachers and stuff. You want to thank them?
I would like to thank my high school teacher, Miss Gerber, for being so amazing. We still talk every once in a while.
Slay.
Love her. She hasn't seen me since I've transitioned, but she's cool with it. So,
She better be.
yeah. But she gave me the book. She gave me The Artist's Way as a graduation present.
So cool.
And she was my English teacher and my yearbook teacher. I was heavily into yearbook when I was in high school. I became the editor in chief. I got really good at using InDesign and Photoshop and all of these different Adobe platforms. Um, and I was a good writer too. I did really well in English. But because she was the yearbook teacher and it was a really big task. Like it's an all year thing doing this. And because she asked me to be the editor in chief, we really did develop like a personal
Mm-hmm.
connection as well. And I
Yeah.
definitely had my fair share of difficult things that happened to me while I was in high school. And she was definitely like, she was a huge support for that as well.
That's good.
Um, but yeah, her giving me that book just feels like such a symbol of, the potential that she saw in me.
Yeah.
And I
100%.
definitely, dipped my toes into the book a few times after she gifted it to me, but I was starting college and got
Mm-hmm.
really busy with that. And it was really hard for me to stay consistent with writing 3 pages during that time in my life.
Yeah.
Um, which is why I'm excited to do it now because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like this is a perfect opportunity for us.
Yeah, should we just say something about the opportunity we're in, just like really quick?
Yeah.
So we're in a really dope situation. That sounded funny. Where Casey has been traveling for 6 months now. I've been traveling for 3 months, and or is it 6 months, or have you been for 5 months?
5 months.
For 5 months, so 5 months and 3 months. And we've been able to basically volunteer our way around Europe, and then next we're going to other countries. But I've been able to work remotely while doing this, and this is my last week of working remotely before we can like fully travel to our heart's content. But we've been able to like dog sit and volunteer and find really amazing opportunities where we can, not spend all of our money, but we can still travel and explore all these beautiful countries.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, we're currently staying in a house that we painted these walls. We cleaned this
Please
couch.
admire them. But yeah, I mean, and also the fact that like we know that we will be traveling for the next 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a 12-week course, so I feel like that adds such a cool special sprinkle to what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And you know, we're not going to be working, we're going to be traveling and exploring,
Mm-hmm.
exploring what's around us and
Mm-hmm.
exploring parts of ourselves that we haven't been able to. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
really exciting, maybe a little bit scary because there's definitely some emotional parts to it. You have to be
Yeah.
open to the process of it, and it's not always easy. But the fact that we're going to be moving around and have different
Mm-hmm.
environments, different
Mm-hmm.
um, things that will be inspiring to us and feed that, you know, inner
Yeah.
artist is really fucking cool.
Like I'm pumped to probably be doing episode 2 on a ferry.
Are we going to be on the ferry?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be so cool. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and like there's
Okay.
probably gonna be an episode at some point where we're like inside a hotel room, laying in bed, just like, like it'll be so good.
We're going to be at a beach. We'll be
We'll have a retreat.
mhm.
We'll be in a van, like
Yeah.
in someone else's house. Yeah, lots of
So
house
stay
sitting,
tuned. It's going to be great.
lots of adventures,
Um anyway, I was talking about
creative
my
champions.
champions. Yes. So thank you, Miss Gerber. And the other prominent person I want to shout out is my first Lyra instructor, Julia. I love
Julia, I
Julia
love
so much.
her.
I miss her. I think about her. If you're listening to this by any chance, I love you so much, Julia.
Are you gonna cry?
No, I'm not going to cry. But I just distinctly remember like she just really, really believed in me, and she was so kind to me, so supportive. I remember one time there was like a drag burlesque variety show that was going on, and I invited a friend to come with me, and everybody from my circus group was there pretty much. Julia was there. And when we got there, we connected and we sat near each other at the bar and stuff. And I just remember her saying something along the lines of, like, you are seriously so talented. And she may have been a little bit drunk, but that didn't discredit anything she was
That
saying.
only made it more honest.
Yeah, she was being so sincere, and I really felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, when I was writing and thinking back to that, like, she is the only person I can think of, like, very explicitly that has made me feel that way and has said that to me.
Yeah.
Um, so love you, Julia. Miss you. Hope you're doing well. Do you want to talk about champions for you?
I don't have any shout outs. Any champions I have? Actually, no, that's not true. I do have a champion. My first real taste of being an artist came from being a wedding photographer for like 5 years. It was a very long time, and Josh was my mentor. Josh and Julian, but Josh and I have stayed closer. But Julian and Josh were incredible mentors, and like I've attended both of their weddings, which is ironic. But like they've been such incredible people, and who they saw a photographer who had never picked up a DSLR before, who was taking photos for the college newspaper, and because I was nice, I think, and easy to teach and was willing to be taught, they
Mm-hmm.
taught me so much about photography and gave me the opportunity to be a photographer. I got super burnt out, just like all of us did. Well, actually, no, Julian's still killing it. He's still doing it, but Josh and I got really burnt out. Um, and I think that's part of why my creativity is just like I saw myself as a photographer, but that just changed so much.
Mhm.
And with social media again, that's changed so much. So that's, I guess they're my champions. And at the same time, we all got really burnt out together.
Mhm.
um,
But they
but
saw potential in you,
yeah,
and
and they made me feel really good.
mhm.
And other than that, I don't know, like random moments people have said nice things. I feel like there were some moments from the same person that I would have like, you look so good. This is such a good photo. This is so incredible. This piece of art, one of your many things that you do, is so great. And in the same note, they'd like compare themselves to me, or they would say, like, these are all different people throughout my life. Like, one day they'd be saying something positive, and one day they wouldn't. And so it would play in this role of like, if I'm not good enough and I don't get the value, then it's not worth anything. So that's
Mhm.
just, that whole roller coaster of emotions and feelings was challenging. So it's hard for me to like separate my monsters and my creative
Yeah.
champions. My monsters and my heroes is what my brain keeps saying.
Heroes is fine.
Yeah.
Heroes, champions,
Mhm.
same difference.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been my greatest champion and my greatest monster. Like my own voice has been that because of what I
Mhm.
think people expect of me
Yeah.
and how I think an artist is supposed to look.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you got those ideas from somewhere. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
not
got them
your
from
own.
other people and like partially other people's experience and people's comments about other people. It's just like I could never pin it on somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that leads nicely into the next thing.
Mhm.
One of the other assignments was essentially writing out blurts,
Mhm.
which are things that you tell yourself, beliefs that you have,
Negative core beliefs.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that ultimately block your creativity.
It's like
Um,
you talking shit about yourself.
yeah. And one of the first things that I was able to pull out was about like what my definition of an artist is and how that stops me from feeling like an artist, because the definition in my head is somebody who already has their niche. They have that thing that they're good at and
Mhm.
they do it all the time.
Mhm.
Um, and that's very different from how I feel like both of us operate.
Yeah.
We've both done a little bit of a lot of different things.
And been pretty good at it.
Yeah,
Not to toot our own horn. I've been bad at other things. Me and sculpting don't get along. I want to love her. She hates me. But like
that's how I feel about sewing. Anyway.
she likes me. Yeah. Like even crocheting I guess counts. But still there's so many things that we've done and that we just like put our entire all of our energy into and we succeed and we're like, well, this was really cool, but it's not like the thing that gives me life and only the only thing that gives me life. I have so many more things in the back burner that I love to do.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like another thing that I've realized is that I don't necessarily want I don't want to narrow myself down to one thing. I don't know that it's possible for me to do that because there's just so many different things that I want to experience in my life that it's hard to
Mhm.
imagine myself, you know, boxing myself in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for me the biggest one was like if artists won't make money, like as an artist, you won't make money. It's not that artists in general don't, because I know that they do. Because I've seen, so I grew up in Ashland, Oregon, which is super artistic heavy, and like everyone's an artist, and it's beautiful, and I love it so much, and it was very inspiring, and also not challenging, but kind of competitive. Even though like the
Definitely
artist scene, it
competitive.
was competitive, but it was also like the artist scene, just I didn't fit in. So when I see an artist, I think like, oh, artists are successful. But when I think about myself as one, it's like myself as a creative is not successful enough to like make money or be able to like live, you know.
Mhm.
So that was like my biggest blur, which affirmations that come with that is being in touch with my creativity is where success lies, and being an artist will make me a success. And I haven't quite figured out the formula for affirmations. I usually just like write the opposite of
Mm.
whatever the blurt is. So if it's like being an artist will make me fail than like being an artist will make me succeed, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wrote out some affirmations that are contrasting to the negative core beliefs that I have, but
Mm-hmm.
um I wanted to talk about a few other negative core beliefs that I
Mm-hmm.
wrote down. Um, and I feel like we both relate to these.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have other ones, you can say them. But
Mm-hmm.
I also wrote down, I am not unique or special with what I do. And we kind of talked about this earlier with having like the internet be one of our monsters. Um, because seeing like social media, my experience of it is that it's just been so much more detrimental to me than it has been a benefit. And I don't like being part of the comparison game. So I have I'm very proud of my healthy relationship that I have with Instagram, which is basically no relationship.
I'd say, is that a healthy relationship or is that just no relationship?
But when I do go on it, I just go to post. I just
Mm-hmm.
have like for me, it's just my own way of documenting parts of my life and photos that I think are really pretty. And I don't have many followers and I really don't care about that because I just want to honestly when I go onto my Instagram after I make a post, I just go back into my own profile and look at the posts I've made.
That's
I don't
good.
even touch the feed. I don't go near the feed.
That's good.
The only other time I use Instagram is honestly for like finding tattoo artists or like, you know, finding other artists for certain things.
Which is funny because like that's how we find other artists too.
Anyway, the other negative core beliefs I wrote down are nothing I do will be good enough and nothing I do amounts to anything. Um, and that
Those are kind of the same, huh?
I mean, I'd say nothing I do will be good enough is kind of ties into not being unique or special.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the nothing I do amounts to anything to me feels a little bit different just because like I've definitely like I have a handful of experiences where I have what I felt like was putting my whole pussy into something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just crumbled for whatever reason. And those have been something that have really blocked me because like it's not that I'm not putting in effort, it's that I have put in effort before and it hasn't gone the way that I
Yeah.
wanted it to.
Yeah. I really get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know how many freaking TikTok and social media accounts I have for different things that I've tried. And like for me, the biggest block that I end up having is like continuing. Like I can set it up and get it ready to go and I can post stuff, but it's the like the next step of reaching out to others and connecting, and that's where my values get challenged of like, well, me reaching out to others is saying, "Please give me value by accepting this and doing that." And then that's
Hmm.
immediately when that blurt shows up of like what I'm doing is worthless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So I get that.
Yeah, because it's like in the most ideal world, like,
People would find you.
yeah, they're finding you. They want you to
In
do
the ideal world
things.
you blow up or whatever and then you like become an overnight success, but that doesn't really that's doesn't really happen. Like it
Hmm.
does for some people obviously, but it's not something you can rely on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I took these things and I'm proud of the affirmations that I turned these into. So the negative core belief is an artist is someone who has their niche. The affirmation I wrote for that is I am a complex and multifaceted artist.
I can't stand for that hand.
um, for saying I am not unique or special, I wrote I have my own unique creative voice. And for nothing I do will be good enough or amounts to anything, I wrote I am inherently worthy. So thank you. Thank you.
What is it? Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. That's what you just said, basically, and I think that's iconic as fuck. I love you
Yes,
very
I'm
much.
serving charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. So yeah, and I really like that with the morning pages, I do end them with writing out affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these ones specifically will be good for me to incorporate at the end. There are a bunch of affirmations that are included in the book that you can use, and
Mm-hmm.
I think like basically every morning I go back and look at those and I pick out the ones that resonate the most and I add that to the end as well.
We were watching the Dochi videos, which was also like, that was helpful for our inspiration with this. And something that they had said was, I am capable of creating an abundance of great art, and I am a shameless creative. And those were both really, like, those were very captivating to me and very, like, whoa, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I liked those too.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, those were all of the assignments. We didn't even talk about the artist date that we did.
Yeah, those were the assignments that we picked of the 10. We did 2 or 3, and I wrote, while you did the creative the heroes, because I'm forgetting it. I did a letter to the editor, which was
Mm,
basically a letter to all of the monsters that I could think of, like anybody who I could identify, which I had a few people, which I won't name names, but um I'm not gonna like go into it more other than like I told them, y'all had your opinions, but here's why you're wrong.
period.
And that was very weird, but it was fun. That was the one I was like the most uncomfortable with. That was the
Mm,
one I did not want to do. Exploring those voices and monsters isn't a problem for me. It's confronting them that scares me.
mm.
Hmm.
I'm glad you did that then. It's great.
Artist
Um,
state.
yeah. So
That was so
every
fun.
every week, you also do an artist date, and it does say in the book that this is something that you do by yourself, not with a significant other. But I feel like with what we're doing and with traveling, it's kind of hard for us to go do our own sort of dates.
I wouldn't even say it's hard. I think that like we just like to be around each other and we know that we have enough respect for each other's creativity to do what we need to do while in those spaces.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I don't think it's even like a we have to do them together, it's that we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I never feel like I'm whatever I'm doing, like I'm being judged by you or anything like
absolutely
that.
not. Yeah.
So, um,
If anything, I just feel cockier when you're watching me because I'm like, the person I love more than anything and who loves me more than anything is like watching me do something cool and is proud of me. And I know that you're proud of me, just like I'm super proud of you.
hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so we decided to um, go to a coffee shop and do some sketching,
Hmm.
and
Some still lifes.
some still lifes, if you will. And I thought it was good. Every time I sketch, I think, "Ooh, I should do this more often. Like this is a good, uh, like it feels like a brain exercise in a way.
Mm.
I enjoy it to a certain extent. I think the subject that I picked for this date, I knew it would be challenging because it was literally a glass jar. And
Those are deceiving.
those are hard to sketch.
Yeah.
Um, but
Especially with pen.
yeah, with pen too. But I like using pen more than using pencil because it's a way to like stop my perfectionist. Like if I use pencil,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna be erasing forever. Like
Yeah.
I at a certain point I just need to commit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I also like I know myself and I know that I prefer sketching like landscapes over anything else because I
Yeah.
think that they're a lot more forgiving.
They are.
Um, so the date was fun, and I think I learned more specifics about what my inner artist does and does not enjoy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up sketching obviously as well. And I sketched you, not your face because your face kept moving, but I sketched part of you and then I did like quick sketches with pen. So I sketched you with pencil and used a smudge brush and like something that an old art teacher told me forever ago was do more shading. Do 3 times the amount you need to. So that was something that I was like trying to tap into, which was fun and like a nice memory from high school. And then I sketched two other things really quickly with pen, and that was not it wasn't challenging. The thing that I enjoyed most from the artist date that we went on was that at the end you like ran to the bathroom or something and we had watercolor brushes with us and I had matcha and I was like, what if I just used the matcha that's left over to color this? Because, like, shits and giggles. And it was super fun. And that's where I was like, oh, I can feel that, like, creativity, like, almost like inner child come out and, like, have fun and
Mm-hmm.
play with that. And that was, like, really, really fun and inspiring and made me want to go to cafes more and sketch and then, like, color it in with whatever I'm drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I
but
definitely saw that side of you come out too.
yeah,
So.
it was really fun. And I think that's like I got so much from that. And the next time we went to go get coffee, it was like a really hot day. We didn't do a second artist date. We just decided to go to another cafe another day. And I wanted to try doing something similar, but it just like for whatever reason, I wasn't in the same headspace and I could feel myself like it was warm and I was overstimulated and we'd had a hard conversation before about life and like I was just feeling my feelings from that and I went to like draw again and there's this beautiful person who was sitting near us and they had like the most unique nose and I was like I want to draw them and then like when you start a journal and you have the first drawing and it's like you messed up so many times you can't even see where you started. That's what that was. And that was really hard and Casey was very, very, very good with me and being like, it's okay, like just stop. Like it's all good. You don't got it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. And that was really nice. So
Hmm.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that overall doing sketching like that can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second time we did it definitely was not the right conditions.
Mm-mm. It was so
Um,
loud. So
but
many children.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what other kinds of artist dates we do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I kind of liked the idea that you had when we were at the festival of like, I think it's more of an inner child than it is an inner artist
Oh yeah.
experience, but
Uh-huh.
like, you know, getting cotton candy and getting like
Yeah.
rope
Yesterday we were at
candy
a
and
festival that we weren't expecting to be at down in Strangford, and we don't even know where we are.
I'm like, why are you saying that?
We're not gonna
Where
be
the
here
fuck is
anymore.
that?
Anyways, we went to this festival and we went to a town expecting nothing. And there was a full-blown festival with like a band playing and all of these booths up and I was expressing to Casey like sometimes that, as you were just saying, the inner child, this part of me was always restricted and told like you can't buy candy, you can't buy this, you can't buy that, you can't go to the stalls and just get something for fun. Like we bought a pizza, which was cool, but not something I did very often when I was younger. But there was a part of me that saw the cotton candy and these like candy ropes. I've always wanted to get one, but it's like it's so stupid. Like it's not actually stupid, but like my poor teeth. So, it was one of those things. I think that that's a good way to incorporate the artist state is
Hmm.
like just doing inner child stuff. And like we're
Hmm.
going to be in London soon. And I feel like it could be cool to go to a museum.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like that's something we could do for
Yeah,
not this week, but the week 3.
that's a really good idea. I
Mm-hmm.
love a
Are we doing
good art museum.
ASMR? No, I do love a good museum. I think both of us get really inspired from them, especially
Hmm.
when they're good.
Yeah, when they're good. um,
But yeah, I think that next week we're gonna be that's my last week of working for this job and we're gonna be packing up and getting ready to go to London and then Thailand and like all of these things. So we'll be listening to week 2, which is all about What was the title of it?
Recovering a sense of identity.
Which is what I need. What we haven't talked about is, and we're not going to today because it sounds like it'll be next week's topic, is how I've been having. I just turned 28. I am for the first time not going to be working. I've been working since I was 14, at least one job, if not three, and going to school, of course. Um, and this will be the first time I'm not doing any of that at
Hmm.
all, and that's terrifying,
It is, but like,
but it's
again,
exciting.
it's another reason that I really love that we're doing this together.
Mhm. Mhm.
When like the timing of this, I feel like is just really cool
Agreed.
and really special.
It
So,
is. And that's why we're inviting people to join us who are also queer and artistic or creative and want accountability or just want to see someone else's journey. Because when we were watching the Dochi video, it was really helpful for us to get an outside perspective of someone else's experience. And when we were looking to find somebody else's podcast, there wasn't really one.
no, there wasn't really much. Not the way that we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, where it's like week by week and we're like expressing and discussing. Like we're kind of using the same format Dochi did, to be honest. But at the same time, we're not a world renowned artist who's like absolutely killing it. Pop off. Shout out to Dochi, I guess. Love you.
Shout out Dochi.
You're amazing. We hope to be as great as you one day. But I don't think we're gonna do rapping. Maybe. I don't think so.
I
That's
don't
not
think
really in our
that's
wheelhouse.
no, that's not in the cards for me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Anyway, so the end of each week there is a check-in,
Mm.
and I feel
I
like,
was totally wrapping it up. I'm so sorry.
oh no, it's okay. I mean, we're basically wrapping up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What I was gonna say is that we did a lot with checking in already just by
Yeah.
talking about it. Like, the questions are about, did you do the morning pages? We did do the morning
Yes,
pages.
we did all of them.
Did we do them the way that you are maybe supposed to? Me,
We did
no.
them. We did them.
I have 3 pages for every day. Are they always words? No, but I have 3 pages, and I'm pushing through even when it's uncomfortable, and I feel like that's part of the
That's the
importance of it.
important. Yeah.
Like, that's why it's not just one page or a paragraph. It is 3 pages, and that's a lot.
For me, it's always the third page when I'm finishing it. It's the last like 4 sentences that are the hardest for me.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Description for my life right there.
What I've done with that is, like, when I get towards the end, I've also made it into like a gratitude practice. Is I'll just write out
Mm,
like things that I can think of that I'm grateful for in the
that's a great
moment.
idea.
Yeah.
Damn, I might start doing that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good way, especially like for me, my experience of writing, like a lot of what I write is just not it's not the best stuff. It's like my grumpy morning brain. But if I can end it in a way where I have the affirmations written out and I can think about like something
Mm-hmm.
that I'm looking forward to in my day, something that I can be appreciative of,
Mm-hmm.
it does feel like it's a better way to start my day.
Absolutely.
So, the other check-in things were about the artist date,
Which
which
we
we
talked about.
we did talk about that. Um,
The last one's important though.
were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery, and describe them?
So the issues that I considered significant that were coming up for me were all about identity. So I believe that week two will be very challenging for me, but also really good for me. Um, I've been having specifically a lot of challenges with like gender identity and like I'm introducing myself as Steffi, but for full transparency, like not a name I'm 100% on. Especially within the world of like gender expression and I could keep going about that. I'm not going to. That's for next week. But yeah, I think that I'm excited for next week because that's like quite literally the next thing I need to explore and walk through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the thing for me that keeps coming up is the question of motivation,
Mm.
because before we move on to our next location, I'm really trying to get my my blog up and running
Mm-hmm.
so that I can start putting stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
My approach to unblocking my creativity, a lot of it is literally just putting stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do so many different things, I'm just finding a way to share them with people, whether that be like a recipe that I made that week, or a sketch that I did, or
Mm-hmm.
a photo of somewhere that we went and experienced with that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be sharing all of that
Mm-hmm.
because, again, like, we're wandering artists. Like, there's a lot that we do. Um, and I'm accepting that in order to be known and to grow as an artist, I have to put stuff out into the world. So,
Period.
so I'm working on that.
Proud of you.
Finding motivation for that is not always easy though. I get in my head and I get frustrated easily when I don't know how to do something right away.
Mm.
And I've definitely been struggling with that.
You have to you have to build your routine, or you have to dedicate time and energy to the things that you want to do, because you won't always have motivation or inspiration. You have to like accept and acknowledge that you want these things and you need to dedicate energy to it. That needs to happen for things to grow. And like, I'm one to talk, I can dedicate a lot of energy in the beginning, and then the minute it gets scary, I back out. And it's not because I'm losing motivation. For me, it's because I'm losing like confidence. But even within that, like, if we dedicate ourselves to something and we set time aside and we hold ourselves accountable, that's when we really see growth. That's when you see growth in working out. That's when you see growth when you're writing a book or when you're creating art. There's so many things this can apply to, but it's really like you have to focus on the dedication and making time and space for that, and not faltering on like, okay, we're doing this. Like, you just gotta commit. The
Mm-hmm.
commitment, you gotta commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't always have motivation, and in the moments that you don't have motivation and you do it anyways, you'll prove to yourself that you don't rely on motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's something that I'm working on reframing my perspective about,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really easy to be hard on myself about those things. Um, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're definitely right about that. So
I know.
things to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is the end of the check-ins. So now we can officially start to wrap things up.
We are wandering artists wanting to connect with other wandering artists, but like,
Yeah.
there's a way to frame that. That's part of what. Um,
No, I think you're onto something though. Like, part of why we are wanting to do this is because I know that there are other people out there like this, and
Mhm.
I mean,
We're creating what we
it,
didn't find.
yeah, exactly. Like, if we didn't have, like, I would love for someone to do this, and it's not really out there, so we're doing it.
Period.
And I think it's really cool. And even if you aren't doing the course, like, I think that there's a potential to pull things out of it and to learn something about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
um
Or just have two relatable queers hanging out with you
yeah,
in your ear while you
and
cooking.
get on
I see
some,
you doing dishes.
maybe get onto some silly tangents. We can talk about things for a while. So
So, before we end, I have an anecdote, which is where that just came from.
talk about the origins of this podcast.
The origin of this podcast was one day we were walking to the coffee shop we've been going to while staying in Northern Ireland, and we started talking about crisps, potato
Potato
chips,
chips.
potato chips that we like and dislike, and we talked about that for a straight 45 minutes. No ad breaks.
There's a lot that you can say about different flavors and textures of potato chips.
And we were discussing that, and then I don't even know which one of us said it, but both of us were like, we could do a podcast because
We
we can
are those
talk.
bitches.
We are the people that we're looking for. Like, we love so many different podcasters and we love all these niches. And we are more so trying to target an audience, not a niche.
I feel like I can see this podcast turning into something beyond doing the artist's way, where we're just talking about, being young queer people in this day and age. Like, there's so much to talk about with that.
So much.
So much to talk about exploring self identity and what
Mm-hmm.
it is that makes you happy,
Mm-hmm.
finding community, and like,
Finding community and connection, figuring out who you are, defining what figuring out what you are even means, like, and also just having something goofy and silly to listen to sometimes because we all need that. Sometimes
yeah,
we just need a distraction.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
So thank you.
that potato chip episode might be an interlude. Who knows?
That'll probably be like episode 13. The artist's way and then the potato
Now
chip
that we've discovered
episode.
ourselves as artists, let's talk about potato chips.
I don't know. I think that that could be funny. Episode 13, the crisps episode. Like, shut up. That's funny. Anyways, thank you so much for sitting with us and listening to us jibber jabber and chat. And hopefully, you found some sense of community within us for yourselves. You can tell the sun is setting actively if you're watching the video. There is a video version of this.
Check us out. See
Check
our
us out.
beautiful
Find us on all the
faces.
things because my intention is to put us on all the things. But, you know, we hope that you enjoyed and that you feel like you have a little bit, you have someone who can see you and someone who can
Be
be your accountability buddy. And yeah, we hope to see you in week 2.
Thank you for listening, whoever you are. Um, Reminder that you are amazing just for being who you are.
You're
And
loved, you're valid, and you are worth the attention, affection, and energy that you don't think you deserve. You're worth it.
period.
Did I phrase that correctly?
I think that was great.
Okay.
No notes.
No notes. We love
Okay.
you. We don't know who you are, but we love you.
Yeah.
Because if you understand
If
us at all, then
yeah,
we understand you, and
if
you are
you if
loved.
you fuck with this, then we fuck with you. You know what I mean? Okay.
Okay,
Signing
love
off.
you. Bye.
Bye.